All right. We're in.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is live. The registration for our February 4th and 5th meet, 3SB, 3rd Street Barbell here in Sacramento, California, is hosting a USAPL meet extravaganza with the boys at Game Day. We are probably 60% full right now, so if you want to get involved, beginners, advanced, it doesn't matter. We have a bunch of people doing their first meet ever. We have a bunch of pro powerlifters that already signed up, so check it out. It's going to be a good time. Best option is probably Discord. You can go to usapl.com, schedule, but best option is probably Discord, so 50percentfacts.com. There's a Discord link there. Join our Discord, and the link is in there. You can ask questions in there. Shout out to Joe Stanek, who's been schmobbing all over Discord, answering everyone's questions about the meet and competing in general. We're in there chatting, but yeah, go join that, check it out, and we'll see you in February.
That actually hits on a thing one I wanted to talk about today, and that was a question our Avi here, our trainer here at 3rd Street, who is a pro powerlifter. She finished top 5 at USAPL Nationals. Did an anonymous Q&A.
Yeah.
And one of the questions, I'm going to paraphrase here. Basically, the person said that they had wanted to sign up for the meet, but then they saw some of the people that were competing, and it's their first meet, and they're worried about what their performance is going to look like versus other people.
Yeah.
And what I want to say to them is that if you are going to be a competitive powerlifter, you need to let go of that now. You need to let go of that feeling now.
I think they said it was their first meet, right?
Yeah, first meet.
Yeah.
It's like if you're going to wait to compete until your numbers are good, you could be waiting for a long time. And guess how your numbers get good? When you put the pressure on yourself to create structure around your training and actually peak at a particular point for a meet.
And well, if everyone waited, there would be no powerlifting.
Exactly.
There wouldn't be a sport. And then 2, like winning at powerlifting, no offense to anyone out there that loves powerlifting, but it's so meaningless because it's based on who shows up. Yeah, and that's why nationals are a thing. That's why IPF's a thing. That's why these paid meets are a thing. Because then you're more likely to know who's going to show up. But for any meet, whether it's your first, second, or even 10th meet, I would choose somewhere you want to visit. I would choose a cool squad if your friends are doing it. I would choose, the gym location if it's close to you and you don't have money to travel, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many other factors in choosing a meet to compete in. Your scheduling with your coach and your timing of life, right? If you're going on vacation in January, maybe this February meet isn't for you.
Right.
Things like that come so much before. I've never looked at a roster in my life when I've signed up for a meet.
And to see who was on it.
Yeah, and like this Lifting Cast, the software we use or the website we use is super nice and open book and simple. But like a lot of meets, you can't see the roster until the coach or the meet director posts it. And I've just literally never looked. It's never crossed my mind.
We're hosting a USPA meet here on Sunday, this coming Sunday,
the 11th.
I have no idea who's lifting in this meet.
And we could find out, but
we haven't asked because it's not that important, and I think there's a really good chance that other people haven't asked either.
Yeah. No, I think Jim's right. You got to get your feet wet, and then hypothetically, say your numbers were the best. You've never competed, and your numbers were the best. That's on the roster. They're not the best till you put it down on the platform.
Right.
It's like you have no numbers. It doesn't matter. Like Jim said, you have to get the experience, the platform experience, the environment experience, the equipment experience. Not everyone trains on powerlifting style equipment, and I don't mean to demean your feelings by any means. You're 100% valid in feeling that way. Wanting to do the best and you wanting to win is a great attribute, but that's like saying like, oh, I've shot some free throws in the backyard. Yeah, I probably don't want to join a league till the Lakers sign me. Like, well, the Lakers aren't going to sign you, right? Like, basketball and these other sports are built in a way that you do some rec stuff when you're in 3rd grade. Then in 5th grade, if you're good, you join an AAU team. Then you're playing high school. Then you're playing college. Like, there's a ramp up for it, so you've competed your whole life. But that rec league in 3rd grade is equivalent to this meet. And that's not to demean our meet either, but that's just how it goes. Like, you have to compete. And that's the beauty of powerlifting, is that you get a beginner that just learned how to squat, bench, deadlift 6 months ago, is now doing it semi-efficiently with the most veterans in the game who are the best in the world at the exact same meet. That's the beauty of powerlifting. You don't get that anywhere else. I've played high level basketball my entire life. I never played against LeBron James. He didn't just show up and play with me. But here, that can happen. So I would actually flip that, and I hate being the cup half full guy because I hate most of those people, but the beauty of it is that you get to lift, compete, and see the best in the game.
Right.
And if you are a competitive person, truly, and not optics and not virtue signaling, if you're truly a competitive person, that will motivate you to see those big names smash. So I would suggest signing up, and that's not because we make money. We're going to sell at the meet either way. We'd love for you to get involved, but if you don't want to get involved, our advice sucks, and I'm sorry, I tried.
A nightmare scenario would be being invited to a meet, not being able to turn it down, and know you're not going to win.
But even then,
or do well, or even do well.
But even then, I think
giant face plant.
Even then, I think if you're a true competitor, and I'm not anymore, I fought my devils and they're gone.
Yeah,
my competitive demons are gone. Even then, I'm going.
Right,
like basketball, like getting invited to pro-ams and stuff. Like I knew I was going to be the best there. There's literally ex-NBA guys and 6'6" D1 guys everywhere, but I was stoked to fucking go and show them that I belong there.
Yeah. Maybe
I'm not going to be the best dude on the court, but I'm a damn well try. And so even in that situation, if you are competitive, I think the only way to do it is get around like-minded humans, and that's why we built Third Street. You know, like we jokingly take credit for Abby's acceleration in her lifting, which is 100% a joke. It's not true, but she has made insane gains coming to this gym versus training at a commercial gym all by herself.
Right.
Can you draw a percentage to her just getting stronger, her focus, her hard work, her genetics, and the environment? You can't really break it down, but environment plays a role. And if you want to get better and you want to be around the top lifters, or you want to be a top lifter, you got to be around a top lifter.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And think about the way comedy works. I don't know. It's just because like I've been following what Garrett Fear's been doing, but like you do an open mic. You get 5 minutes, and you're up against people who are also just starting, but some of them could be a fuck ton better than you.
Yeah.
And if you stayed at home, you would never make any progress.
Yeah, you won't know either way until you show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are you going to win? You know, powerlifting, like the trophy, so whatever.
Yeah.
Like who cares?
Yeah, and I've so seldom ever seen anybody make a negative comment about a newer lifter and what they were able to do. As long as they were giving their best effort, and as long as they were following essentially the social norms.
Yeah,
of
if you're not being a
meet.
douchebag.
Yeah, if you're not like, never ever 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 dump the bar off your back. If you're losing a squat,
yeah. But even that, if you're totally new and you do that versus someone who's even semi-veteran and did that, I'm going to look at them way different. Yeah. I'm definitely hating the veteran lifter more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because some of it is just being naive or learning or whatever. Like, yes, don't do that. It can cause injuries. But that being said, like, you just got to learn and you just got to show up. Now, I've never seen a negative thing about a new lifter at a meet. I've seen negative thing about lifters, but that's like
lifters, period.
Yeah, that's on the internet or that's at a commercial gym. It's never at gyms like this. Not once. It's never been at Barber Brigade. It's never been anywhere like that, or people making fun of or anything negative with new people.
And social media can be negative, but I can pretty much guarantee that if you do your first meet and you post your lifts on social media and you're in a well-judged meet, so that all of your made lifts are legitimate, all you're going to get is encouragement.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not going to get people saying, whatever that would make you feel bad. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and I get the intimidation, right? Like, my first powerlifting experience was at super training, and literally world record holders everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was, 15 years younger than the youngest person besides, like, Robot,
Yeah.
So everyone's super old, super advanced, and I'd just been squatting for 2-3 years. So I understand the intimidation thing, but it's the same thing. Like, if I was never going to join a powerlifting gym until I'm a world record holder, I'm never joining a powerlifting gym. Like, it's just
exactly.
There's only one of those.
Yeah. I don't understand.
I don't really either, just because I am competitive or used to be, and so like all that I see is challenges.
Yeah.
I don't want to avoid. If you're competitive, you don't avoid challenges.
No.
I was talking shit to someone on my Instagram too, like little things like, wow, 115 in the gym, or something? And I was like, yeah, man, I love it. And it literally answered like that. And he said, I'm from Roseville, which is a suburb near us. I know what those summers are like. I was like, I don't come into the gym to do something easy.
Yeah.
I don't come to the gym to avoid stimulus and hard things.
Right.
I come to the gym to do something difficult. So, like, and I'm not that guy either that you deadlift and now your brain's changed and now you're, can conquer anything. Like,
yeah.
Forced growth and being uncomfortable is much different than you're choosing. So everyone, because the big claim is like, I'm going to run this marathon because it's hard, and I'm going to take an ice bath because it's hard, and I'm going to go 3 months no carbs because it's hard, and 3 months no sugar because it's hard. You're choosing all those. Like growth and learning comes from things that are forced upon you.
Right.
That then you have to overcome. Is it good to do difficult things? Yeah, I think so. Because then you're playing an inside battle. There's something there. Hey, man, it's 115. I'm still going to get my deadlift in. It's a little more difficult than normal. That's cool. But that's not where like all this deep growth comes from that all these podcasters really are talking about.
And social media.
Yeah, just going crazy. But that being said, like if you want to get better at something, you can't avoid the obstacle.
Yeah.
That's literally like the worst thing you could do.
Exactly. And the thing about powerlifting too is that like if say you're a hiker, you want to your idea is to like hike, let's say Mount Shasta, which is close to us, right? Made the top level of Mount Shasta may or may not be the thing that's for you if you're just getting started.
Right.
But you can go part way up the hill and come down, right? In powerlifting, a meet is a meet.
Yeah.
Now, maybe not be a top meet, but it's still a meet.
Even that, right? There's not that many like top meets.
No.
Right? Like there's
and the chances you're accidentally going to fall into one.
Yeah, it's low.
Really low.
Yeah. And even if you did, no one cares.
No one cares.
Yeah, you're just another lifter on the roster. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. No one cares. All right, so the bottom line here is if you're thinking about doing a meet, just fucking sign up for the meet.
Yeah.
Just do it. Not our meet, anybody's meet, whatever.
Because you never know who's going to shine up. What are you going to do? You're going to go find a meet where everyone's a newbie, and you think you're going to shit on them. And then the day before the meet, someone's going to sign up and whoop your ass. Like you just have no clue. Then you're just going to stop the day before. Like you have no clue what's about to happen. Who knows? Don't care. And that is like, this could probably going to offend some people too. That's where like powerlifting is like a hobby and not like a sport.
Right.
In that sense. So like just sign up. Anyone can sign up.
Yeah,
Brian Shaw could just say, fuck it, doing a powerlifting meet and sign up to whatever meet you're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck deadlifting them. You're just going to ask for a refund and leave? Like, no, just, show up.
Yeah, anything can happen. Have you caught up with the Dragons yet?
I'm caught up nowhere. It's because, like, I told you, like, a lot of the TV time is right before bed. And so, like, my brain, I really want to watch Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. And so, like, the concentration to watch isn't happening well at 9 at night as I'm fading. I watched episode 1 of Lord of the Rings, episode 1.5 of Game of Thrones.
So,
and that's the battle right now, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's saying, all right, these are both, like, prequel, remakey deals. Which one's going to ruin the entire franchise and which one's not?
I don't think either one of them is going to ruin the entire franchise. I can say that without being spoilery. Another thing I can say without being spoilery at all is that the Lord of the Rings world has always been very black and white about good and evil.
Yeah.
Always, always, always.
Yeah.
Whereas the Game of Thrones world is all about the gray.
And like it's more real in the sense that people of power just end up being selfish. They're maybe not bad.
Yeah.
Because you can easily, like, what's her name's fucking nuts? The queen.
In
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Fucking shame. The naked lady.
Oh, Cersei.
Cersei's fucking nuts, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's the only one that you're like, all right, this person is not a good human.
She's got a major personality disorder.
Yeah.
Her son, the older son, whatever his name was.
Yeah, he was just a little demon, too.
Just a red ass, man.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
But even he, I think, is a better example. Is like, you can like, all right, well, he's 13.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's just a little fuckhead. There's other 13s that are fuckheads just like him that don't wear a crown.
He's a little fucking Draco Malfoy. Is
Yeah,
what he was.
yeah. And is Draco like evil? Well,
yeah.
Okay, Draco's a bad example.
Mostly.
I don't think that the kid, her son, is actually like evil. I think he's a teenager that got the most powerful position on the planet.
He's a teenage dirtbag, is what you're saying?
Yeah. He's definitely a dirtbag, but I don't think he's like evil. And her, she's fucking her brother. She's obviously has a couple screws loose.
Yeah, you think?
But to your point, I agree that like Game of Thrones has a more realistic view of human nature.
Yeah.
Where the fantasy in Lord of the Rings goes well beyond Mordor's fucking bad.
Yeah.
There's no good there. Like, they're fucking orcs. They just want to kill you because they want to kill you. There's no...
Yeah, they don't have any redeeming qualities.
No, it's not even Thanos.
They're bad people.
Right? Thanos he thinks that the world's just gone, and he wants it good. He wants balance. You know, you can argue Thanos all day isn't bad.
Yeah.
He just wants to help.
Yeah, and I think that, like in the Lord of the Rings, there are a few characters that sort of waver back and forth between, you know, that Frodo, under the influence of the ring, does selfish shit.
Yeah, Gollum, for sure. Poor guy.
Boromir, I think that's the saddest one.
Yeah.
Because Boromir did not want to be bad.
No, he got caught up.
For sure. Yeah.
The ring will get your ass.
Yeah, no. Sean Bean, speaking of Game of Thrones, Sean Bean, same guy, was the Baratheon king who was killed at the beginning of the first season of the original Game of Thrones, spoiler alert. And
that came out 10 years ago.
Fucking sad. It was so sad. It was sad when Boromir died. It was fucking sad when Faramir, his brother, found out that Boromir died and under the circumstances that he died. It was like, oh my God. It's a sad character, but like that's where the conflict in humanity comes from. But in general, everyone knows what the good is and what the bad is. Whereas Game of Thrones,
even the first episode, they kind of lay that out similar-ish. Whereas there's like politics going on, and people, you may not like people, but if you try to put yourself in their shoes, are they like evil? Like, not really.
Yeah.
Like the tone we talked about off air, like the tone of both of these in the first episodes hits the mark. So I'd agree with you that there's just no way they like ruin it. Because if you hit the tone, it could be mediocre writing, it can be mediocre acting, but as long as you hit the tone, you're not going to totally flunk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because people just want to disappear into another world, and that's why I think the biggest critique on The Hobbit is. Where like the books are similar-ish. Lord of the Rings is a little darker, but the book The Hobbit's a little dark too. And the movies are dark for Lord of the Rings. And The Hobbit came out and it felt like a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah.
You know? And I liked it still, but I understand why people hate it.
I was talking the other day about the Netflix Marvel stuff that is now on Disney Plus.
Yeah, the tone.
It was so much darker.
Yeah,
it was really good. And it's not like, She-Hulk is a situation comedy, It's,
and a bad one.
I don't know if it's bad. It's just not good.
There's no sitcom that I want to watch past like the era of Seinfeld.
Yeah, you didn't want to see her twerking with Megan Thee Stallion?
I didn't see that. I think I watched episode 1.5. Were they on 3 or 4 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it was the last episode, post-credit sequence last episode.
I am pretty sad about all those shows, really.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just proving that I'm more of a Star Wars fan than I am a Marvel fan. But like Obi-Wan we talked about, like it hits the vibe for me. Is it the best piece of Star Wars ever? No, but does it feel like Star Wars? Yeah, and so I'm in.
I think it's going to be Andor. I think that Andor is going to be...
Yeah, which I'm down with too. Yeah. But like why like you turn on the Hulk and it's nothing like Avengers. And the beauty of Marvel is that each character's movie has a different style.
Yeah.
There's a beauty in that, right?
Yeah.
Where like Doctor Strange is off in this sci-fi fantasy world and Hulk's in more of this action world or whatever. But I don't know if Loki was okay. I didn't mind Loki, but the rest of them...
Loki was fine.
Yeah, the rest of them haven't even hit me 3%.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier was...
Yeah, Marvel.
Meh.
Yeah.
It was meh.
It was like a shitty Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But at least it felt like Marvel, I guess. You can give it that.
I mean, I like the characters and I like the actors, but I didn't love the story.
Yeah. There's just not a lot going on.
No.
Like the beauty also of the big Marvel movies is that they are like they tell so much and they all connect. Where these are supposed to fit gaps, but some of them seem like meaningless gaps.
I would agree.
And that's kind of the issue. Where like so was Obi-Wan, I guess you could argue, right? Like, do we need to know what's going on? No, but the vibe was so real, I was down.
Well, I watched a little bit of Rise of Skywalker for the first time in ages last night, and it is fucking awful.
Yeah,
God,
some of those
so
are pretty bad.
It's so bad.
Even the vibe
oh my
with some
God,
of those
it's so bad.
Even some of the vibes of some of those don't even hit Star Wars that well either. Sadly,
Yeah. I just don't even know what's going on. So speaking of crazy things in the movie world and stuff that does not impact our lives and is not really important at all, but is still fun to speculate about. Have you seen the thing about did Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine over the weekend?
no. All I heard in this TMZ realm is people talking shit on poor Brad Pitt for dating young women or something.
There, yeah.
He
And
broke up with a 4-year girlfriend or something.
Brad Pitt or DiCaprio?
Oh, DiCaprio.
DiCaprio. Yeah, doesn't
All those handsome, light brown haired guys look the same to me.
doesn't date anybody over 25.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I might make that rule. Fuck it. Me and Leo. You know what I did start to dig into on my walks is the Punisher's podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not about the Punisher, the dude himself, the actor.
Oh, Bernthal?
Yeah, Bernthal.
Oh, I fucking love Bernthal.
You should listen to the podcast.
I should.
So I started seeing clips of Shia, and I guess they're homies from Fury.
Yeah, Shia fits into this other thing as well.
Oh,
Go on.
dope. And so I just saw clips on like Instagram and TikTok, and they're like just deep in talk, you know? And one clip was like Shia like honestly apologizing in the sense that he's taken full credibility of everything bad that's gone on, right? Like there's kind of a Me Too thing, there's a physical thing, whatever, and I think it was all with the same chick. I don't know if it was his assistant or girlfriend at the time or something. But it was the first time I've seen, and you'll probably have a different take, but the first time at least I've seen that an A-list celebrity has just literally said, I fucked up. Not I fucked up, but I fucked up her, like nothing. He just said, he literally says the words like, I hurt her and I hurt a lot of people. And I'm that's it. I'm like, wow. Like I've always been a Shia guy, so like obviously I'm a little bit biased, but just to hear him say that, I'm like, dude, no, you know what I mean? Like even Will Smith can't say I'm sorry for slapping someone. It's always but and if and or.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, you just slapped a man. You're a grown man, slapped a man. Just say I shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Period. No explanation.
Yeah.
Just
it doesn't have to get that complicated.
Mea culpa.
And obviously that's a more fun version of the darkerness of Me Too and things. But to hear Shia did that, I was like, oh fuck. So then I hopped in to that podcast, and I've only got like half an hour in because I do like half an hour walks. But so far solid.
So, he got fired from the movie that was replaced by Harry Styles in this movie that Chris Pine is in.
There's some chick in it that fired him or something? I saw
Olivia
the
Wilde was directing
Yeah.
it. Okay. And she said, oh, no, I had to fire him because he was so problematic and somebody had a bad experience with him and so on and so on and so on. And then he released voicemails of her essentially begging him to stay on the film.
Nice.
Yeah. So
a little blackmail.
Yeah. So who knows how that's going to fall out?
Yeah.
And it's too deep for me. This is a very superficial thing that probably didn't happen, but people are reacting to it.
Spit.
Okay, so here's the.
Where are we? At an award show?
This is the premiere at a film festival of the movie that they're talking about.
That's Leo and Olivia?
No, that's Chris Pine, and I don't know who's next to him.
Oh.
Maybe I don't know who it is.
I know Chris Pine, I think. What's Chris Pine most famous for?
He played Captain Kirk in the J.J. Abrams
new ones.
Star Wars movie. He's also in a movie with Denzel.
Is he in Boy Meets World?
Oh, I don't think so.
Is he in Boy Meets World?
I don't know.
I think so.
Really?
I think so, dude. I think he's in the later years of Boy Meets World.
Oh God, I have no idea.
I think he's Sean's older stepbrother. Or am I way the fuck off?
You could be off. Sam's gonna have to look that up because I can't do that and hit this at the same time. So
he looks a little crazy with that hair. He's got a Leo thing going on.
This is the thing. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that hair.
I like it.
I think potentially he's doing it for a movie.
Yeah.
But it is not a good look.
But even his outfit there, he looks like a little newsy or something. Something's going on. And I like it, but he doesn't look like the Pine of Star Trek.
No, not at all. So if you see that the seat sitting there has Mr. Styles on it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so watch this.
Yeah, they're sitting next to each other in like this auditorium. Styles sits down. What's he wearing?
Uh-oh. Okay, now it's playing up here. Okay, watch right here. No, well, next. Not yet. Okay. Watch Chris Pine's face as it resets. Watch his face.
Oh. Maybe he just hates him.
The speculation
is that he spit him off camera.
Is that he spit his gum out on Chris Pine right there, which is why he's reacting the way he is.
Maybe he farted.
I don't know.
That looks like a fart sit-down reaction.
Potentially.
I don't know. Olivia's kind of reacting, too, a little bit.
Yeah.
She's kind of just like the bite the lip deal.
That is Olivia over there. Another possibility is that he did not remember where he kept his sunglasses until that moment. When he picked them up, that's another possibility. I have another... I don't know. This is a tight view.
I don't think the spit doesn't ring to me, but something going... Oh.
Tight view. It's in slow motion. There doesn't necessarily be anything coming out of his mouth.
Nah. What if they just don't like each other?
Are they possibly? I mean,
you know what I mean? And you're like, he's not going to show. We have this much beef or whatever. And then dude creeps up on him. And he's like, fuck, he's here.
Maybe. But
it could be that face too.
But if you're the publicist, you fix that.
Yeah, you don't sit him like you throw Olivia between them.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. 1 million views, goddamn.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see a spit action, but there's definitely drama going on.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
Is Chris Pine in there?
He definitely wasn't, because that show went off the air in 2000. He didn't start acting until 2004.
I'm going to find out who looks like him. There's someone that looks like him back then.
Potentially. So this reminded me of another circumstance that actually happened to me that I was filming.
Oh, yeah, I know this. This one's really good, though, if it's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, this is an actually happened thing. I got to get my... Here we go. All right. Are we up on 4? Okay. So this happened in 2008 at the Fit Expo in LA when it was actually in Pasadena.
Yeah, I've seen this.
This is an 8:59 attempt by someone that we used to know.
It's 2008.
2008.
Freshman in college.
And you can see Big Boy Bradshaw lifting off right here, and he drops his gum.
Why are we chewing, you know?
This is a good question.
I guess you got to count 1, 2, 3. We do a little count, especially with geared lifts. Often when you're the bencher in a geared lift, you just give a 1, and the rest will give 2, 3, so you can tighten up, which I've found most raw lifters do the opposite. Most raw lifters, the lifter likes to give you a 1, 2, 3, and that's all dependent on who you train with and what you're used to. But maybe that was it, right? So Mark might have gave him a 1. Big Boy gave him a 2, 3, and the gum was just at the tip of your teeth. And
yeah, maybe so, but
that's it. Don't chew gum and lift off.
That
for sure.
really happened, and don't do that.
Yeah, that just happens in general. I do like to work out with gum. I don't know why. Maybe a basketball thing. But at my school, you weren't allowed to chew gum, so I'd be chewing on like athletic tape and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know
that
why.
That had to taste good.
No, yeah, it tasted like dirt. And then you end up swallowing it mid-play, and that's why I'm fat, probably. All my intestines are clogged from all the tape.
You're not fat anymore.
I don't know. But it's in there. Now I'm only eating lettuce. But yeah, a lot of tape in my gut, probably. Can't be that healthy. Can't be that bad.
No.
Who started the rumor that when you swallow gum, it's in you for 15 years, whatever the fuck?
I don't know, but it's stupid because that's not how your intestines work. In the same way...
Well, if it did, it would fuck up everything you ate.
Yeah.
Like your intestines ain't a fucking 3-foot pipe.
No.
If gum's actually just going to get gathered down there for years.
Well, what's it going to stick to? Like, how much can you get gum to stick to?
I was going to say even a table.
The inside of your mouth.
Yeah, or even a table.
Because the inside of your gut is not that much different than the inside of your mouth.
Gum's actually not that sticky until it hits your shoe for some reason. Like on your hands, it's not even sticky.
Especially if it's somebody else's gum.
Yeah, but then on your shoe for some reason, it's like magical. It becomes sticky as fuck just with your shoe.
Yeah.
Or your hair. But your hands, it's not that sticky.
No.
It's not like sticking. A booger's stickier.
That's true. There is a...
So if you swallow your mucus...
Oh, my God. Who is it that... I can't remember who it is. There's some celebrity or politician or whatever who's famous for wiping his booger on the back of a little girl.
Like mid-fucking...
Yes. I don't remember who it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just saw it again the other day.
What are you going to do? Yeah, you're going to flick it to the crowd or you're just going to hide it? I'll probably hide it.
It's like you might do with like the carpet in your car. Like, okay, I got a problem. I have no.
Yeah, casual.
It's got to go somewhere. It's got to just like, and he just like on the back of her.
Hopefully it was his daughter
her
or
little
something.
jumper. No,
It was
no,
just a
it
stranger?
Was not. It was a stranger. Yeah,
That's a little fucked. If you
Yeah.
know him, little
Yeah,
prank.
little bit of a stranger. Yeah, I don't understand that at all. One other thing I wanted to talk about today, because we've tried to keep it light so far.
Does that mean you're going dark?
But that's going on fucking out the window right now.
It was Roger Goodell.
Oh,
Roger
nice.
Goodell, yes, that's who
Nice.
it was. Yes, he.
Boogers on a handicapped girl.
Why?
Whoa.
Why just booger on?
That's not good, Roger.
Second thing came from
No, that's not a good thing at all. I feel bad hearing that, and at the same time,
Also, you were thinking of Ned Stark earlier.
Ned.
Ned Stark, the character that Sean Bean played.
Oh yeah, right. Not Baratheon, but Stark.
That's Robert Baratheon.
Yeah, Baratheon was his hand. Yes,
Other way around.
he was Baratheon's hand. Okay.
Yeah, Jon Snow's stepdaddy, bastard daddy,
Stepdad, yeah.
real dad, out of a whore.
Stepdad.
Oh.
Because his real dad was Aegon Targaryen.
Oh yeah, that's a big spoiler.
Yeah.
That's the big spoiler.
Sorry, big spoiler.
I swear Game of Thrones
We've
came out in
had
like
years.
2010, right?
Started?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. I remember like hearing about it, but it like wasn't a thing until like season 4 or 5. Like the world wasn't going crazy.
That's potentially true. Where it happened?
There's a lot of shows I started like that and then I didn't finish till the world went crazy. And I liked them, but like the public push wasn't as crazy.
2011.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, close to.
If you had to vote right now, then what's better, The Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones? I know it's early.
Oh, if I had to vote right now, I would probably say Lord of the Rings because I have a longer standing relationship with the characters.
Because the world, I think, is voting Lord of the Rings too, based on my Twitter and shit.
Yeah. Not everybody, Elon Musk, who's just shitting on it because he hates Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, that's fair. Politics.
Yeah.
Who cares? But yeah, everyone I've like read, comments or whatever, most people think that they're both solid, but Lord of the Rings is actually doing it.
Yeah, and the criticism of Lord of the Rings I've seen is that the characters are not as engaging initially.
Yeah.
As
There's not a lot of talking going on, at least in the first episode. It's kind of weird. It's a weird
Yeah.
narration. They're just kind of running around.
But it is like all the money's on the screen. It's fucking beautiful.
No, it is. It looks really good.
And I think that I would fault some of the CGI in the first episode of the Game of Thrones spinoff as looking a little bit cheesy. The dragons don't look as good in the first episode as they look in the second and third episode.
Yeah, and you think their budget's probably through the roof. But it wasn't until episode 1, Game of Thrones busted records, that they actually announced the season 2 already.
Right.
And I'm sure they were waiting for numbers.
Yeah, I'm sure that they were too, especially now that the head of Warner Discovery, isn't that what it's called now? That owns HBO.
Yeah, the monopoly.
Since he threw out an entire $90 million Batgirl movie because it was a tweener.
Yeah, and Batman's not even ripping right now.
It was too expensive to be a streamer and not good enough to be released in theaters.
Yeah, and I think that's about the flip-flop. Like, I don't think movies are going to die, but, like, they're trying to do blockbuster movies on Netflix, and they're failing. Like, I watched the Mark Wahlberg, Kevin Hart.
Oh.
And I don't
that
hate
was not good.
I don't hate Kevin Hart as much as I hate The Rock.
Yeah.
I actually think Kevin Hart's funny. I don't love his stand-up, and I don't love the movies he chooses typically, but, like, Instagram and stuff, like, he makes me laugh. He's kind of like Bart.
Yeah.
Like Bart, like they just make you laugh. If you're in the room with there, you're gonna laugh. You know, he's just acting a fool. And I'll watch the movies, obviously, and I'm impartial to Mark Wahlberg. I'm not like a mega fan, but I don't dislike him. But yeah, that movie was trash. But there's a shit ton of money in it, I bet. They try to push it, try to make it a blockbuster-y Netflix deal. Even though I told you the one serious one with Kevin Hart was actually pretty good. Probably like 8 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
He plays like a comedian. I forgot what it was called. It didn't get as much love as I thought, and I thought it was actually a pretty decent movie. Something about Toronto or something, or maybe he's in Toronto. Yeah, he's kind of like, he plays like a comedian in it, but it's dark.
Okay, we'll come back around.
Yeah, it's good.
Since we're talking about dark. Okay, so I cannot keep straight the whole national whatever day, week, month. I can for anything.
Yeah, because they layer now
like
hard.
Donuts or pizza or beer, or there's like International Beer Day and National Beer Day.
I think those are lies. That's why. Because I think there's more than one.
I think you're probably
I
right.
swear I'll see on Instagram at least 2 national donut days. I'm like, well, we can't have that. Yeah, now you just want to eat donuts because you're fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an excuse.
Yeah, which is like cool when they originally started. And obviously these things pass much further with the internet, right?
Yeah.
When it used to just be on a calendar.
Yeah.
Whatever.
For sure. So I didn't see this coming. I didn't know it until today, but I thought, this would be a good opportunity for us to talk about it. It is apparently Suicide Prevention Week.
Because what? July? August is men's mental health?
Yeah, I think so. I can't keep it straight. I honestly can't. I mean, the reason to jump onto something topical like that is because it can be important content to share with people.
The whole point is to spread awareness on blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And something like donut, as simple as that, is to have fun and go grab donuts with your friends. And you can say it's stupid, but if it gives you an excuse to go see your mom for the first time in a month and grab a donut, then I think it's a great thing. Obviously, this is scaled way up. But if it's a reminder on what the phone number is, or a reminder to text a friend you haven't talked to, a reminder to meditate yourself a little bit harder, to go see a therapist, then I don't think anything like this can ever be a negative.
No.
Obviously, people take advantage of it, which I'm not a fan of. So there's a negative there, right? Someone will do something to make money off of it.
This is correct.
But
or just clout.
Yeah, butcher it. But at its core, I don't think there's anything negative.
Yeah, we a few months ago we had our friend 70s Big Mike on talking about some of these issues.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a way that we haven't covered this before. So I found this article on a site that I'd never heard of before called goodgoodgood.co. That's a level of repetition I hadn't really thought about before, but I bet that, when they were putting this together, that was a domain that was available. I thought that this was in May. I really thought that suicide prevention was in May, but it's like maybe mental health that's in May. This is an article about activities to honor and celebrate Suicide Prevention Month, Week, and Day. Their first point is to learn the warning signs of suicide, and I think this is kind of a critical thing, and this might be where we put most of our effort, and then we'll relink this link this episode, and let me just link this article to the episode notes. Why is it doing that? Okay. And these are kind of warning signs, talking about wanting to die or wanting to kill oneself, talking about feeling empty, hopeless, or having no reason to live, talking about feeling trapped or that one has no solutions, feeling unbearable emotional or physical pain, talking about being a burden to others, withdrawing from family and friends, giving away important possessions, saying goodbye to family and friends, putting affairs in order, such as making a will or arranging home and financial logistics, taking great risks that could lead to death, such as driving extremely fast or using drugs or alcohol more often, displaying extreme mood swings, making a plan or looking for ways to acquire lethal weapons, stockpiling or purchasing a gun, showing rage or talking about seeking revenge. And I don't know how many of those are absolutely observable by a friend or a family member. Some of those definitely would be.
Yeah, I think it depends on how often you see them, right? Because there's hints when you're starting to pay attention, but how many people do you see 4 times a week?
Yeah.
Right? Most of us are just caught up in this hamster wheel and we're working or whatever, and so you don't see cousins or best friends or whatever that often. I think if you're around them, you can kind of see, but I do think that's rare. Or even like some of it, I get torn on this too, because some of it seems like optics and people want like a pity party and then they'll get shamed for that. But some of those pity parties are a real cry for help. So maybe they're posting it on their social media that they just bought a gun, or maybe they're posting on social media that they just did this and that, or one of those things. And so I would rather probably give someone a pity party just in case than ignore a hint.
Yeah, and that's a thing that I observe about social media a fair amount. People that, because I'm a pretty active, follow back guy, and the amount of time that you see people who are going through some severe emotional thing that somebody in their life is sick or died, or their pet died, and I don't mean to diminish that because that's a big deal for, it can be a very big deal for a lot of people. Or, just some horrific thing has happened, and they essentially they tell you how sad they are, but you don't really understand enough of the situation to be able to help them.
Yeah, well, and you never know how sad. It's kind of like physical pain. Mental pain's the same, where, like, you can have them tell you, like, a scale of 1 to 10 or something, but, like, you never can read someone else's pain.
Right.
Right? Is it a 2 out of 10, and they just, that's how they cope?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to cope with my dog dying. I want to post about him and say my favorite things about him. Or is it a 10 out of 10 and you have no clue what to fucking do, so you're throwing red flags on social media?
Right.
Like from the receiver, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I have a little bit on this one too. So talk about terminology around suicide. Now, actually, I was reading an article the other day that said that during the pandemic, suicidality, so like ideation and all the other parts of suicide, fell among college-age people during the pandemic. And I wonder if it's just that so many people were taken out of social interactions that they weren't comfortable with.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, or school.
Yeah, or school. Yeah.
School be making me real sad.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
Yeah, or feeling trapped.
Yeah, there's no answer to that.
I wonder how many kids, and we hear about it from people that we mentor or know, like how many kids are like not actually forced, but forced to go to college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so if you're forced to do something,
yeah, then
you literally feel trapped.
Right.
And it's not something you want to do, and you're stuck there.
So just in terms of defining terms, suicide is when people harm themselves with the goal of ending their life and they die as a result. A suicide attempt is a non-fatal, self-directed, potentially injurious behavior with intent to die as a result of the behavior. A suicide attempt might not result in injury. Experts suggest avoiding terms like failed suicide or successful suicide, which perpetrate negative stigmas, and suicidal ideation, which is sort of what I was referring to before, thinking about, considering, or planning suicide. Another thing they say is to use the phrase "died by suicide" instead of "committed suicide." They said that suicide is not a crime that one commits. However, in many jurisdictions, attempted suicide is absolutely considered a crime, which is something that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, that's a weird idea.
Yeah.
The idea is really weird to me. It always has been.
Yeah, no, I agree, because, like, I don't think people should be looking to commit suicide. I think that people should be looking for solutions to the situation that's making them feel like they don't want to be alive. However, it just seems like there's an agency issue there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there is, for sure.
Where if that's what you've, I don't know. I don't want to say it's not a reasonable decision. It's an unreasonable decision. But at the same time, how you punish somebody for acting and...
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're just getting fucking cuffs on them and treated the same, but I don't know. I don't know.
And it possibly is because sometimes if someone has not been successful in a suicide attempt, they will take them into custody for mental health reasons.
That's what I was going to say.
Retain them for that.
It might be a pure law thing where they need that law for them to, for lack of a better term, forcefully help you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a lot of things, unless you say, I need help, you could be in your house going crazy, literal.
Right.
Right, and they can't do anything because you're not doing anything illegal. They can't touch you. They can't talk to you. They can't go in your house. But if you do this and it's technically illegal, now they can try to help you. So it might be the only way in our society that they could do that.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about before, like, I have never been in a situation where I was actually serious about that, about potentially committing suicide. However, I think that suicidal ideation is something that people pretty commonly engage in.
Yeah, I think frequency and intensity is what runs a lot of the psychological aspects of this whole thing, and like what it means or how to categorize it. Hey, if you've thought about death, or if you've thought about what if I wasn't here, you're probably human.
Yeah.
If you thought about exact ways, even a mini plan on how you're going to do it with an intensity of wanting to do it with a semi-normal frequency, now you probably fit into a different category.
Yeah. Another comment that I would make too is that obviously, very often it comes out of a sense of hopelessness.
Yeah.
And if I admit that I feel as bad and as screwed up as I do in this moment, then I'm going to be this way forever, and that I'm just going to fall into a different category of people. I'm not going to be a normal person anymore. I'm a person who has like mental health issues. And I don't think I don't think in 2022 that's where we're living. And I think that very much the goal of getting help with mental health issues is eventually being able to handle most everything yourself, like learning the tools to deal with your anxiety and depression and whatever leads you to that feeling of hopelessness.
I think that's what good therapy is. Like you're learning, and they're just kind of setting bumpers for you to kind of bounce off of and find your own answers in a way. Like, prescription stuff is a little more A to B answer, but
and for some people that's really exactly the thing to do.
100%, it's necessary in some cases.
Yeah.
But even just regular therapy, even if you're just kind of sad, or you're on the next level, or you're dealing with what you think is real depression, like it is hard because we're all just stuck in our own brains and no one understands what's what. So like being anxious, you're human.
Yeah.
Having regular anxiety, probably an issue. Being sad, you're human.
Yeah.
Being depressed, yes, you're still human. I don't mean that by another way, but we probably have something to address. There's something to change. When you're sad, that's normal.
Yeah.
It's going to come back. It's going to bounce. You're going to go around. When you're depressed, there's probably something you need to look at. Some of the real issues come that, like, if you've ever been truly depressed, answering a text is hard. So even if you do have that homie, going back to 70s Mike, who talked about like reaching out often, just saying what's up, literally just checking on people. If you're truly depressed, you're not answering that text. It's
because you're opening a can of worms on somebody and yourself.
Maybe that, or maybe it's just the energy. In my experience, my energy can't do it. It's energy to open my phone. I literally just can't. It feels like a dark hole I'm falling down. I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking deal with this right now. Not something else to deal with. Like, it feels like my plate's so full that even answering a text is going to shatter my plate.
Yeah.
And so I won't even like look into it.
Yeah. I like 5 years ago, after spending a lot of time thinking about it, finally started seeing somebody, and it just this last week have basically decided that I'm done for a while. Like, it was his suggestion, but I was also in the same spot. It's like, I think maybe I'm done, at least done for now.
Yeah. Like,
I can deal with a lot of stuff, and I have a different level of tolerance for I guess being aggravated by situations in ways that cause me to get anxious.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's come and go, because like it comes and goes as problems arise, or you have new experiences.
Yeah.
Often, then you might need to go back. But if you're having the same experiences all the time and you've got a grasp, for lack of a better term, on it, nothing's ever like solved. That's what I think people think.
Yeah.
It's like you go there and there's a Band-Aid. Well, like, there's not a Band-Aid. There's just like a how do I deal with wounds class.
Right. Yeah. And it's like tools.
Yeah.
For and it's tools largely for how to think.
Yeah.
And then how to react.
Yeah, and mostly about you.
Yeah.
A lot of times people think it's about other folks, and yeah, they play a role, but like, again, the cliche life coach podcaster that I hate, but like, you can only control you and how you react.
Yeah.
So like, if these things are triggering you, the trigger isn't the issue, the reaction's the issue.
Yeah.
Right. And so and maybe not the issue isn't the right word, but the trigger isn't what we can solve, unless you just delete it, which sometimes that's the case. Crazy wife, crazy boyfriend, whatever. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to delete that and then the issue's solved. But sometimes, or the majority of the time, it's how you react and how you put the flint on that trigger, and then the trigger lights it up. But who's really lighting the flint? It's you, motherfucker. You're the one causing the issue because you are starting it, and then they make the flame, and you blame the flame. You're the fucking Kindle, you dumb bitch. Fix your shit. And that's all we really can do is look inward. I want to shout out another company. I don't want to fuck it up, though. But shout out to Jen Wiederstrom, a friend of the podcast and a very close friend of mine. I think it's called Guardian Revival.
Okay.
And they're doing a lot of stuff along the lines of Mike and 70s Big, dealing with first responders, military, and I think regular humans as well on kind of the mental health suicide battle. And I know Jen texted me a little bit about it, and recently they did a fundraiser. I think some veterans literally fucking like biked across the country.
Wow.
Yeah, for different fundraising activities, et cetera, and they have another one going on right now. I think they're doing like a 1 mile challenge, and so if you look up Guardian 1 mile challenge on Google, it should pop up. And a similar idea, just to raise awareness and collect a little bit of funds so they can help first responders and veterans in suicide and their mental health journey, which we obviously know if you've been overseas or who knows what, and like you said, like your dog dying versus your husband dying, it can affect people similar. You think automatically, oh, your husband matters so much more than your dog. Well, like that's to you, and that's your perspective when you're not in it. And I use this extreme case to make an example of you can get PTSD from stubbing your fucking toe. Like how your brain wires things isn't always in our control, and that's why mental health's a thing. And so, but that being said, first responders, veterans see some crazy shit that the everyday person doesn't see, and we know how high their suicide rate is. So check out that. Shout out to Jen. I know she's dove head first into some work over there, and that's taking up a lot of her time. But shout out 70s Big Mike. What's the last name? I can't say it.
Badalino.
I should be able to say it. You can probably follow him. I'm sure he still posts something on it here and there.
He does, yeah. He does. The other thing I just recently listened to Jason Kander's book, Silent Storm, about his battle with PTSD after being in very stressful situations in Afghanistan with the army, but not actually seeing battle, but he still had PTSD from it, and how that affected his life. And like a very smart person and a very tough person still essentially had to give up his political life because of the effect that PTSD had.
Yeah, for sure. Our brains are, and some doctors say this too, but like our brains are just so different than like who we are and also who our emotions are. They literally are like computers. So how that thing might take in stimulus from this outer world and reprogram itself to make you feel or think isn't always like who you are at essence. So, how strong you are, smart you are. Sadly, our brains, computers, do whatever the fuck they want regardless.
Yeah. So, bottom line, we're going to link these articles and these resources, and there's a national suicide hotline with 3 digits now.
Yeah.
It is 866, I want to say.
I was going to say 988. That's bad.
Or maybe, I don't know.
Now we just fucked everything up.
Okay. We'll just edit this part, so I don't remember.
I did see someone just post it.
I was going to do that before we got in here, but... 988. 988. Okay, so National Suicide Hotline 988. If you were in a situation where you are hopeless and you don't know a way out, that would be a good resource to use. And if you see these signs in someone that you know, you can talk to them and try to use the resources to communicate to them, but also talk to the people in their lives who might actually have more influence than you do and have more ability to get help for that particular person. I don't think that all suicides are preventable, but I think that some suicides are, and everybody that can be saved, it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Some fun topics, some not fun topics, but that's kind of always how we try to dig in to talk about things that we think are important either way. Appreciate you rocking with us, man. Every Wednesday, Friday, brand new episodes. Share it with your friends. I'll talk to you guys on Discord if you're in there. And that's it for me.
I'm at the Jim McDonald on all the social media. This show, 50% Facts, where percent is a word and 50 is just numbers. 50% Facts is a Spreaker Prime podcast. in association with iHeartMedia on the Obscure Celebrity Network. And we'll talk to you on Friday.